Nations people. Every person this morning who had a glass of water enjoyed a clean glass of water. With Bill C-45 going through and the changes to all the different water systems in Canada is going to change the way we clean ourselves, the way we nourish ourselves with water, and the way we cook with our clean water. We're losing our water. Shame on Harper, shame! You know, Nelson Mandela went on a hunger strike to raise awareness in his country. Nelson Mandela is our Theresa Spence. Gandhi went on a hunger strike to raise awareness. Theresa Spence, Chief Theresa Spence, is our Gandhi. You're here to support her. Make some noise! Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce my friend, one of the organizers with Idle No More. Please welcome Miss Tanya Kappo.
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming out today on such short notice. We've been following the progress of Chief Spence for the last few weeks, and it's getting to a point that we should all be very, very concerned. Her health is starting to show the signs of being without food for 3 weeks now. So we respond to her urgent call today to meet across the country in unity, not only in support of her, but in support of each other and in protection of our lands. The kinds of actions that the Harper government is taking is unprecedented in any time in history, not only against First Nations people, but against Canadians in general. And it's time that Canadians stopped and really took a look at Stephen Harper and asked themselves, is this what Canada is to me? And I think once we start to see the kinds of violent responses that we're seeing like that in Thunder Bay, Canadians also need to ask themselves, is this a reflection of Canadian values? Is this what we do to people because they speak out in protection of themselves and the lands that we all share? And I think that this is a really critical time in our history as a country. This is our first real opportunity since, for me, 1899, when Treaty Number 8 was signed. We're at a juncture like that in history, and it's incumbent on each and every one of us, regardless of whether we're First Nations or not, to take to the streets in a peaceful way and urge the Canadian government to Stephen Harper and say, you do not represent what Canada is to me. This whole Idle No More movement experience has been incredibly beautiful. It is also incredibly painful. There's a lot of sacrifices that people make across the country because the work that we do is because we're doing it for our children and our grandchildren. It's not our paid job to do any of this, but it's our responsibility. As much as we all have treaty rights to exercise, every person in this country, in Alberta, whether you're First Nations or not, you have treaty rights, and that also means you have a treaty responsibility. And that starts with renewing the relationship in the very least, and coming together in a very real way. And this is what Chief Theresa Spence is asking for. So all of us here today are here in honor, in protection, in exercising our treaty rights and our treaty responsibility, and saying to Harper, smarten up.